In Magic the Gathering, there exists a deck unknown to the likes of humanity. This epic deck was once known in the time of legends, when gods walked the earth, but has since been lost to the annals of time. Until today, that is. After spending my whole life researching and scouring the earth for any trace of this ancient deck recalled only in legend, I've managed to put together the pieces of the one, the only Minotaur Storm. Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, I want to play a newer format like Standard or Pioneer, but only if I can do really strong things and really fast? Well, how about attacking with 30 trample Minotaur damage on turn 3 in Pioneer, the format that includes every set starting with Return to Ravnica, and which decks normally can't win until turn 5. Alright, so I've hyped up this deck enough. How does it actually work? Well, the main plan is to cast Deathbellow Warcry, which tutors up 4 Minotaurs straight into play and only requires 8 mana. We'll get to that later. First, let's figure out how to actually win with this janky 8 mana card that you would normally find in your 12-year-old cousin's crappy tribal deck. The first and most important Minotaur is Kragma Warcaller. Haste and 2 extra attack for 4 Minotaurs is, as you might imagine, completely insane, and the only reason I'm here talking to you today. Morog, Fury of Akum, is another notable Minotaur that allows you to attack with all your Minotaurs twice if you can play a land after your combat phase. And yeah, it also just buffs your Minotaurs a little bit more. So next up, we have Boros Battleshaper, another beefy Minotaur that mostly allows us to prevent an opponent's creature from blocking, so we can ensure victory beyond just having the 30 trample damage. Speaking of which, Rageblood Shaman is able to give trample and +1/+1 to our Minotaurs, which is especially relevant because it buffs the Kragma Warcaller so that it doesn't actually die to bolt effects. These are the 4 primary Minotaurs in the deck, but there are also 3 copies of Akum Minotaur, which serves as a backup Minotaur to tutor out, or it can just be a land drop. Okay, so now that we know how to win the game with 4 Minotaurs, how the hell are we casting Deathbellow Warcry? Simple. On turn 2, we just need to cast either Baral, Chief of Compliance, or Goblin Electromancer so that all our instants and sorceries cost 1 less. We don't need to do this to win, but it's how we can do so on turn 3. So yeah, on turn 3, with our 2-drop in play, we can then cast Ironcrag Feet, giving us 7 mana to do the thing. But wait, we need 8 mana for our combo. Crap. What was I thinking? Where did it all go wrong? Psych! With Baral or Goblin Electromancer in play, Deathbellow Warcry only costs 7 mana. Huzzah! So you can cast it on turn 3, get our 4 dudes mentioned before, attack with 30 trample haste damage, and watch your opponent burst into a fit of salty rage at the prospect of being attacked to death by Minotaurs for the first time in the history of Magic. Outside of the cards involved in the combo, other hard hitters in the deck include Solve the Equation, which tutors for both Ironcrag Feet and Deathbellow Warcry. Another form of card selection in the deck is Impulse. Expressive Iteration would be better, but the mana reduction from Baral and Goblin Electromancer makes Impulse the better option. Finally, in terms of Disruption, there are 2 cards that the deck runs in order to indirectly support our combo. The first of which is Volcanic Spite, a removal spell that also manages to put any drawn Minotaurs back in the deck so that we can still combo with them. The other card that we're running is Spell Pierce, so we can counter cards like Thoughtseize and counter spells. Here's the full deck list for reference, and I know you're currently blushing at the sheer power before your very eyes. It's like that scene in Indiana Jones where that guy is so overwhelmed with the Ark of the Covenant that he literally melts. Well, to all my viewers who manage not to melt, how's about we take this bad boy out for a spin? Alright, so I'm here with my second recording for the day. The first one I actually got the turn 3 win, but I had an issue with OBS, so here is my attempt with Bandicam. And you'll notice that I am actually going to end up mulliganing here 2 times. I finally now am going to see my 2 combo pieces, as well as I have 3 decent cards, but Skirt Prospector is just like that third land, and so I'm going to go with that. Let's see what my opponent's on. Blue, red. At this point, I'm really thinking it's likely to be the Creativity deck, which is actually really funny because that's a combo deck that wants to play Xenagos and World Spineworm, which is actually 30 damage attacking, so we're basically doing the same thing. Turn 1, I just get out my Skirt Prospector. I'm gonna have access to 3 mana next turn, but that's not gonna come up yet. I'll pass it over, and at this point, now that my opponent has 2 lands out, I really do need to worry about basically 2 different counters. On 2, they do have the Make Disappear, and on turn 3, I think they do Divide by 0 usually. So I do just cast the Brawl. You know, it's not the most crucial card, so even if they counter, it's not the end of the world. But I will say, having it now means that I could theoretically just win the game on turn 3. Yeah, even with them playing Fiery Impulse here, just because it's 2 damage, it doesn't kill Brawl, I'm guessing that's why they use it here. That means that I have my 3rd land. I can try to win if they don't have any interaction. We'll see what happens. I would expect them to just pass, so I'm going to have to make the decision as to whether I do want to go in, or, you know, if I think they might have counter magic, but I mulled to 5, I'm pretty low on resources. I think I do want to just go ahead and try to combo. So yeah, let's Ironcrag, go up to 7. Deathbellow is going to cast 7. If this resolves, hold. Do you have the counter? This is tense. Please? Oh, okay. So this isn't the game. They might be holding a counter for the actual action card itself. So just one more time. Hold. Oh, look at that. I think we're pretty much, we win 100%. I don't really know what interaction they could have, because 3 damage would not kill our Haster. It'll be a 3/4. So let's just win the game. Yeah, so you'll notice we have our Haster that'll give +2/0 to everything. We've got our Morag 6/6 +1/0 to everything. We just won the game. The Boros Battle Shaper would have made something not able to block. Alright, so for this 3rd game of today, yeah, this opening hand is not looking incredible. I do not have much combo stuff going on, so with this 2nd hand here, I just have 1 land, but otherwise, yeah, there is enough going on, but no, I think I gotta go down to 5 again. Yeah. Okay, this isn't the best hand ever, but I mean, yeah, I can just, I can play the Electromancer and really just pray I can draw the Ironcrag feed or solve the equation, and then I can try to combo. I keep the 2nd Deathbellow Warcry just in case of a Thoughtseize in the dark here. But blue-green, yeah, blue-green, initially I was thinking it might be Neoform for whatever reason, but it becomes a little more obvious here with this Sylvan Scrying that, yeah, it's 100% going to be Lotus Field. It does appear as though they search for the Thespian stage, so they very likely have Lotus Field already in hand. Yeah, drawing Morag Not the best ever, but hey, we can still find our Ironcrag fleet and just win, so it's not the worst. Yeah, just cast the Electromancer. Probably just going to see Thespian stage, and then on the following turn, Lotus Field. Normally, I would be a little worried about the counter magic from blue, but I don't believe this deck has almost any disruption in the game 1 scenarios, so I think we might whoa! We might just win right now on turn 3 yet again. That is wild. I wasn't expecting this at all, but yeah, I don't believe there's anything that they can do now. We do have Mirage in hand, but we can still just get one of the Akaman lands, and that'll be more than enough damage. Oh my goodness. This is really wild. Yeah, so go to combat, attack. That's enough. That's gonna do it, guys. Wow, I'm really surprised with the showing of this deck. And wow. Boom. Let's see, how much damage do we have here? 8. Oh, actually, let's just look to see. It'll show us. So yeah, without the Mirage, still gonna deal 26. Wow. Really good stuff. Well, that's an overview of Minotaur's Storm. A amazing deck, surprisingly, that is much stronger than I had initially anticipated. In fact, I ran the deck in 3 leagues and ended up going 9-6. So really something special here. Maybe not a tier 1 deck, but I would consider Minotaur Storm to be, maybe tier 2 to 3 if really refined. There could be some better cards included that I would love to hear about in the comments. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys staying tuned, and I need you to know that if you subscribe now, all of your wildest dreams will come true, which is great. So do that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, friends.